We're going to keep looking at interpreting information or finding information from charts. And in question 4 here, it says a family was surveyed to determine or figure out the household costs for 1 month. Okay, their total monthly bills add up to $2,400. Okay, and the results are shown in the pie chart that's just to the right there. Okay, so part A says how much money is spent on rent each month. Okay, so if I want to figure out how much is spent on rent, well, rent is in purple. Okay, and so this piece here, that's rent. So 25% is spent on rent each and every month. So I want to figure out how much money, not the percentage, but how much money is spent on rent each and every month. Okay. Well, I know that the total amount of money that's out there is $2,400 that's being spent each and every single month. If I want to figure out the number, like the actual dollar value that's spent on rent, I actually have to multiply that by 25%. Okay, and to multiply it by 25%, I'm actually going to convert 25% into a decimal. Okay, so I know that 25%, if I want to convert that into a decimal, I have to divide that by 100. So 25 divided by 100, that's going to equal 0.25. Okay, so 0.25 is 25% as a decimal. So if I want to figure out uh, how much money, or what 25% of $2,400 is, I actually have to multiply that by 25% as a decimal. Well, as a decimal, 25% is 0.25. Okay, so when I put into my calculator 2400 times 0.25 gives me 600. Okay, so each month the family spends $600 on rent. Okay, so 25% of 2400 is $600. Okay, as we continue and we're looking at part 4B, it says what fraction of the monthly budget is spent on clothes. Okay, so what fraction of the monthly budget is spent on clothes? Well, we know that pie charts are out of 100%. Okay, so I know automatically that my total percentage of all the money that's spent is going to total up to 100% of the money. So 100% is going to be my whole. Okay, that's the bottom number, the denominator. So I want to figure out how much money is spent on clothes. Well, clothes is right here. Okay, so clothes is 15%. So 15% is the same as 15 over 100. Okay, and now I want to figure out the fraction. Let's do this in lowest terms. Okay, so 15 over 100. I want to get this into a fraction in lowest terms. Both 15 and 100 are numbers that are both divisible by 5. Okay, so I'm going to divide both the top number and the bottom number by 5. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 20 divided by 5 is, and 100 divided by 5 is 20. Okay, so as a fraction in lowest terms, I end up with 3 over 20. Okay, so that is the fraction of the monthly budget that is spent on clothes. Okay, you always want to write your fractions in lowest terms. The last question that's here says what percent of the monthly budget is spent on food and clothes? So together, those two items together. Okay, so food and clothes. So if we look here, food represents 33% of the monthly budget, and clothes represents 15% of the monthly budget. So we want to figure out the total value of the percentage that's spent on food and clothes. So we know that food is 33%, plus clothes makes up 15%. So the total amount of money that's spent on either food and clothes together makes up a whopping 48% of this particular family's monthly budget.